you're a granddad. It's like being Spider-Man and Captain Marvelous all in one. Now, I really don't care what people think about me anymore, providing I can look myself in the mirror and say, I'm trying to do a good thing. And the good thing I'm trying to do is to bring the community together. I'm actually trying to do it through school. I'm trying to suggest that a community hub based around early childhood through to tertiary, with people and old folk and people using South Farm Library. They closed it temporarily. Old people from the community coming into schools, being part of the library. I actually see that as a positive way forward, and structurally it's possible. And I'm fighting for that right now as a microcosm in my community over in Shirley. And I'm saying to the Minister, look, give us a chance to make this work. And then what I want is researchers from colleges of ed and universities to come in and watch us as we go about our business. If it works, then I believe that the government, any government, but this one will have a marvellous opportunity for putting itself forward as being truly innovative. And they can take all the credit for it. If it fails, I don't mind having my name attached to it, because I'm a granddad and I'm invulnerable. So for me, it's a win-win situation. The community in a microcosm is a chance to make something powerful and worthwhile happen. Where the community cops, Keith Payne can wander in each day and say hi, where all of those things are possible. I've said to the council, shut off North Parade between the hours of 9 and 4 and have little kids walking across roads in a genuine community. I've said all of those things, which to me means we've got an opportunity to have an experiment that might just prove to be a way forward for all of us. And that's what I'm trying to push for.
Obviously, that's your biggest challenge at the moment. What would you say is your biggest challenge for leadership for the rest of you, or has been?
The biggest challenge is simple. I mean, I've got a big school and had 1,500 boys drawn from all over Christchurch, poorer and not from a very wealthy community, but from not so badly off. The biggest challenge is trying to hold them together, because in the middle of the red zone, as I said to you, 400 of my boys, we had people who died in the earthquake. I had members of the staff who lost loved ones. Trying to hold them all together is a challenge, because it's not physical, it's spiritual, it's inside themselves. They need to know they've got a future, and they need to know the future's cool. And to get that into their hearts and souls is a challenge. Yeah.
What would you say your other personal leadership challenges are?
Mine?
No, sorry, I'm putting it to the pen.
Oh, right.
You.
I just go back to your earlier question, Grace. I think that the observation I'd make about, in terms of what changed over the past couple of years is that in terms of, where students are concerned, nothing changed but something combined. The same, similarly to others, the same civic duty or momentum that did exist, but just was slightly more disparate amongst the 136 clubs that we've got. Sort of that still existed, and it wasn't SBA didn't see all of these students who had never previously been involved in any kind of service. It was just for this unique sort of combination of forces when everyone came together, and that was what was so cool. Everyone was at the time saying about it. They sort of say, it was such a unique situation. So these are the students we've got at Canterbury University. We genuinely have the most amazing bunch of people here, but it just gave them an opportunity to come together. I think in terms of challenges from where I sit, it's a case of balancing requirements and expectations, and I think it's a case of, we exist in a continuously changing environment as to how we can best represent students, and there's also always going to be differing opinions over where we should be representing students. So is it just to the university? Is it on a Christchurch level, which I believe it's to both of those within the Christchurch community. Some believe it's sort of on a far wider national level, but we see a lot of apathy from sort of the wider student body in that space, and so that's a really interesting sort of dichotomy. I mean, we've got the UCSA elections happening at the moment. We had 19.75% voter turnout last year, which is the highest in the country, but as far as I'm concerned, it's still pretty dire. So that's a pretty big challenge that we face as well.
I think probably probably in any leadership role, that's probably your biggest challenge you've got is apathy. You know, if the people that are not prepared to comment, you know, do their 20 seconds, stand up and go, well, actually, I think, and it is hard, you know. And for me personally, that's something I've had to overcome, coming from the good old farm, and you know, where you yell at the dog, you did what you're told to, and that was it. And it's, you know, when you come in and have people actually stand up and challenge you, you know, gosh, go back to 17, 18 years I've been in the course now. I would have never sat in front of you guys and talked. No way. You know, I've been running a mile for the father and put it. So apathy is the biggest one. And I think what I've seen is that you can have great ideas, you can meet great people, all that sort of stuff, but you've got to have passion. You've got to get that passion in there. You've got to sell your idea. And that's something I think you're doing great. Is you've got the passion, you've got the direction, you've got the vision, and you're feeding that out there. And you know, you can have a great idea, but if you don't actually put it out and sell it, it's not going to go anywhere.
Can I just say that action follows an awesome idea? Like, you know, if you've got a great idea, don't be afraid to just ask people how you put it into action, because that action part is the most funnest part of it all. You know, so I mean, there's so many people that have great ideas, and they're all starting to come out. So,
and you've probably found that if you put your hand up and actually ask for help, you're fending them off. People are pouring in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And they feed off that. They feed off that enthusiasm. They feed off that passion, and it lights their fire, and away they go.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too much, but I've got a personal experience. I took a year off and travelled overseas for a year with my family, and my wife and I, when we got married, we talked about, we want to travel again, you know, so we travelled on the honeymoon. And then we decided we're never going to travel until we're old and doddery and have Zimmer frames, and that's what didn't really work for us. And so we talked about, we're going to go when our kids are in intermediate. And we talked about, you know, visitors come and we talk as we're going to do. And then somebody says, so how's the planning going? Well, what do you mean? They says, well, it's only a year and a half away. And we had to make a decision, you know, are we really going to do this? And we came up with a list 100+ long of reasons why we couldn't do it. We had people lining up telling us we were stupid, that we were being mean parents and inconsiderate of our kids, and everything was there. It was going to ruin our careers. And a lot of those we didn't have answers to. And as a policeman, I can't promote brands, but Nike got it right. Just do it. And that was our final answer. You know, just do it. And once we made that decision, we just started going, well, here's problem number one. We found a way around it. We do it. Next one, next one, next one. And you just keep chipping away at them. And before you know it, you're climbing on that plane and you're going. And it's the best thing we ever did for our family, for our kids. You know, you have kids and they're in that age group, travel for a year. Your lives will change.
I'll wrap it up with just one little last question. If you could talk to your 20-year-old self, what would you say to them? If, you know, go back and
Well, I'll go first because it was only 3 years ago. I would say that I sort of fell into coming to Canterbury University. I didn't really make a conscious decision to, and then I came to university and got sort of very caught up in all the exciting things that were happening that weren't, you know, studying. And so in hindsight, I would probably say, had a great time. You had 2 degrees. It was all fine, but I would probably say work a little bit harder on that academic side and look for a few more opportunities to do some of the things that Billy sort of talks about in terms of incorporating it, and push a wee bit harder to incorporate some of the extra stuff into the academic side. I was very good at doing all the extra stuff and sort of studying on the side, but it really resonates in the fact that I would have loved as a 20-year-old to just push a little bit harder to say, let's make that part of, you know, with as much